May I have everybody's attention? There is some good news. The second Jin cross of Sakatuma has now been claimed. The cross of pride, which means 2 down and 1 to go. Thanks to the help of some good and useful members. When we resurrect our father, we will be unstoppable and reach levels of power which are unimaginable. We will destroy anything that gets in our way. So if I were you guys, I had better start translating the Latin symbols on the Sakatuma map to locate the last cross.
You know, Donovan, I think I might know a very easy way to identify the symbols on your map. Show me that shit real quick.
They are literally just $signs and other random crap, but okay. Ashwin knows how to speak fluent Latin since he is half Mexican, and even he couldn't identify it. Would be a surprise if you could.
Stop doubting my abilities. Let a nigga cook real quick. Wait. Donovan, get my laptop real quick from next to baby C.
What reason is the laptop required? Google Translate won't work for such symbolism.
Now just hear me out. There are numbers on the laptop's keyboard, right?
Yeah? What's your point, mate?
Look above the numbers. You mom, there are symbols. Above each number on every computer's keyboard, this could indicate the coordinates. I'm ingenious.
Why didn't I think of this already? Low-key some genius shit.
Well now, give me the map and I can easily connect the dots together. Okay, so the coordinates are 9805, 2870, 6650, 8712.
Okay. Let me see if those coordinates actually lead to somewhere on the GPS tracker. West Virginia. What are we going to do? The cross is in a state literally on the other side of this country. It would take a 43-hour drive.
Maybe take a flight to West Virginia. But I think that would have to wait a couple more days. It's a bit risky for me, Jason or Jeffrey to go into an airport though, because of our criminal record.
I just came here from the UK. Do you really think I have time to go on another flight either? I can't just waste money on tickets to get to Virginia when I'm booking an Airbnb here in LA.
Well, there are plenty of members here. Maybe Ashwin and the co-leaders would be willing to take the van up there. That's a lot of dedication to find a cross though.
Rah, that's crud. Driving for over 30 hours, or taking a 5-hour flight, just to get some cross. I understand Ashwin wants to resurrect Boris, but why him specifically? I mean, it's not like he was an evil person. He sacrificed his life just to take down a purple idiot inside of a bunny costume.
So you want to know the truth? On why Ashwin is such a vengeful man, and why he wants to make Boris Anderson evil? Well, let me tell you. Bear in mind, he's only told 7 cult members about this. When Ashwin was young, fresh out of college, he was working for RQA Unlimited. At this place, he would get mocked and belittled by Doris Anderson, wife of Boris, and her entitled friends. It all started when he approached one of the ladies, asking to get to know them. Ashwin was made fun of. Doris and her friends called him a weirdo, just for making an attempt. This wasn't the first time Ashwin had dealt with bullies, if we go back further. He was badly bullied during high school by both girls and boys. People would gossip about him, not just behind his back, but literally in front of him. Ashwin was an only child. Despite this, his parents abused him verbally and physically. Ashwin's father made him feel worthless and was addicted to drinking. The abuse got so bad that one day, Ashwin's mother stabbed him in his shoulder, resulting in permanent scars. At some point, Ashwin grew sick and tired of being pushed around, bullied and treated like an outcast, so he picked up boxing and martial arts to learn skills and be able to defend himself. Ashwin truly resented Doris Anderson, as she was the most brutal to him at his workplace. Doris was a bully. She and her friends saw Ashwin as an incel due to his bad social skills and constantly getting rejected or made fun of by women. Ashwin went into a cycle of depression, seeing no purpose in life, struggling with self-esteem, being abused by his parents, bullied, and having little or no friends and women. Due to having no friends, girlfriend, or parents who cared about him, Ashwin spent most of his time hooked on video games, hardly ever leaving his house. Eventually, Ashwin's desire for love and intimacy not being fulfilled led to an admiration for adult content, which would lead to a downward spiral and slowly corrupt his way of thinking, becoming more psychopathic. Ashwin grew interested in horror films and novels, and he also did some research on jinns. Ashwin came across the dark web and became infatuated with gore videos. It made him think about what he could do to those who wronged and shunned him in his life. He became inspired and was admired by Charles Manson, a serial killing cult leader who Ashwin took ideas from to start his very own cult group. Ashwin started by performing rituals with goats and other animals. He started by killing animals, chopping off their heads and preserving them as props. Due to how he was treated in high school and at his workplace, Ashwin became resentful towards women and saw them all as the enemy. He would begin to subscribe to a misogynistic and vengeful mindset. He was envious of men who were successful with relationships and intimacy, to the point it turned into complete hatred. Ashwin joined a gym with the goal of getting stronger, making him not as much of a target for people. He also thought it would make him more attractive. It eventually paid off. A few years later, Ashwin got stronger, improved his fighting skills, and bought tattoos to cover the scars on his shoulder that his mother gave him during his teenage years. In 2001, Ashwin formed the Sons of Anderson, which over the years grew to nearly 400 members, most of who related to him, and the desire for retribution against society and entitled people who shunned us in our lives. Ashwin did some deep research on the deadly crosses of sakatuma, which represented deadly sins. He had one mission, and that was to find the remaining 3. Ashwin had found out that there were originally 7 sakatuma crosses, which represented the 7 deadly sins: lust, pride, wrath, envy, gluttony, greed, and slothfulness. They were used in demonic rituals by people who hoped they could resurrect their deceased loved ones, but ultimately they would only awaken an evil spirit, imitate imitating said deceased person. Being aware of this information, there was one person who Ashwin wanted to taunt and feel the pain that he had dealt with. Ashwin wanted a way to get to Doris, and that was to be through her beloved husband Boris, who had passed away in 1993 after the demolition of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Ever since the early 2000s, Ashwin has been searching for the 3 deadly crosses of Sakatuma to one day get back at Doris for the way she and many others in his life treated him. He wants to bring Boris back as an evil warlord who causes nothing but destruction and follows his orders. He has already murdered quite a few people who did him wrong in the past, and wants to destroy the city with this warlord to get back at society for outcasting him during his life.
The audacity of these people. And the fact his own mother stabbed him multiple times, to the point he had to get tattoos. I can understand why he is so vengeful now, you know. I'm glad I joined this cult. I have never felt so included and welcomed in my life. Having people around me who are just as hurt, vengeful and psychopathic. I never had real friends in school or college either, because they all thought I was a weirdo. They're not wrong, but damn. Can't handle a bit of edgy humor.
None of it will matter anyways. The whole state of California will be wiped out after the Dark Lord's awakening and the execution of Project 2025.
Fair point.
Arcturus. Oh, this is going to be a revolution. A beast which the world has never seen before. The project is now 21% complete. The mutation requires more human body parts and organs. So, how many heads have been exemplified?
Roughly 17. The bodies are still being preserved, though. Take a look over there.
The body parts should be chopped up into pieces, as well as the intestines inside of them, after being sterilized with my flask chemicals.
That's interesting. I, however, was thinking we'd create taxidermy human beings with the intestines.
Well, I don't see the point in creating more taxidermies. They're just decorations.
I see that the revelation is bothering you.
I still fail to understand why, out of all evil people in history that I thought the cult would want to use for their own power, they want to use Boris. Why? He was a gentle soul, even with his flaws, he was far from it.
Perhaps it's some sort of retribution?
What retribution? I haven't done anything to this so-called Ashwin. I don't even know who he is.
That's because you don't remember him, and Boris's resurrection goes deeper than wanting more power. It's about bringing a phenomenon to life.
What do you mean? Don't remember him? And what is the phenomenon?
Well, the phenomenon is something which surfaced on the internet in late 2015. But if I show you this picture, I think you may have an idea of who Ashwin Salter was, and why he is so vengeful against you.
No. I don't understand. That was decades ago when I was immature and had no self-awareness.
Unfortunately, Doris, some people never move on. Don't beat yourself up because of a hurt and vengeful person. All you can do is hope that the cross of wrath doesn't enter their possession. I heard that King Duncan is in critical condition.
What? Is Ashwin somebody that you used to know, Mom? How come we didn't know about this? Did you not hear me? How did you make some guy start a cult with the goal of resurrecting our beloved father, in their own image? You have to have done something quite messed up for him to hate you this much. Why did you keep this a secret this entire time?
I never told you guys, because the last thing on my mind was that of somebody who I haven't seen in decades, wanting revenge against me for my immaturity at a young age. I was naive back then, but I shouldn't have to suffer consequences, and neither should you or Rosie, or even Boris, with his soul being destroyed, over something like that. Me and my friends should not have bullied and belittled him, yes. But it's not an excuse to start a cult, and hurt an entire city by trying to awaken an evil warlord.
Exactly. Imagine being so butthurt about someone who literally forgot about your existence, and you use that excuse attempting to hurt an entire city or state. By the way, I've got some information about the phenomenon Miss Martin was going to talk about. I'm not sure if you've heard of the 2015 to 2016 internet creepypasta, Boris the Teeth Guy?
There's a lot to unpack. Let me use the television to explain.
Wait. Boris the Teeth Guy. Where have I heard that before? Sounds familiar.
Because it went viral in the Go anime community back in the mid-2010s. Beware, however, this creepypasta may be triggering and offensive.
My goodness. What the fuck is wrong with people in this world? Honestly.
Well, I did warn you that it'd be quite offensive. All there is to do now is to find a way to prevent the sons of Anderson from succeeding in their plans of bringing to life a cringeworthy series. Are there any other informants who could help?
Well, we could try and contact them another day, but I have a plan. Alright, Joseph, so. It appears that a few cult members are situated at the Beyond Bar in downtown, waiting to watch the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
Great. So what are we doing exactly? Will we wait for them to leave, and then follow them to their home base?
Bingo. We will go undercover, and pretend to be part of the cult. There are nearly 400 members, those guys won't be able to tell the difference. Once distracted, we find the room where the cross of pride and lust is, then we run away with it. How does that sound?
Easier said than done. That's how it sounds, pal. How do you know Ashwin and his partners won't be guarding the crosses like crazy?
Keep them distracted. You should keep anybody guarding the cross distracted, and while they are off guard, I'll take one of the crosses, and sneak off with it. The other cross? Same shit, but we'll swap it around, and I will be the bait. It will be easier to understand when we get there. Hop in the car.
I'm finna beat that nigga Ashwin's ass though. They call full of some degenerate weirdos.
Dude, unless you want your head being sterilized inside of a tube, I'd suggest not trying to fight a fucking cult leader vertical bar. Sit down. Joseph, just use your brain instead of being overconfident. Those retards will preserve your organs if you try and fight off any of them. Let alone the leader. Jesus Christ.
Learn how to fucking drive, you mentally handicapped idiot.
Well, I guess it's just another day in LA. People on the dance floor. I'll take a pint of liquor, please.
Coming right up.
That's Samster.
And the main event for tonight. After Katie Taylor has obliterated Amanda Serrano, Jake Paul versus Iron Mike Tyson.
Bruh. This fight is more boring than looking at paint dry. It looks incredibly staged. Mike was training like a beast not too long ago, but in the ring he's moving disabled.
For real. Brother really out here biting his glove instead of throwing hooks.
Aye. Samster and that guy left. Forget this boring ass fight, we should get going.
See? I told you not to get too pissed tonight. Get in the van. I'll drive.
Dude. This is dead ass on the outskirts of the city. I have an uneasy feeling about this.
They are a fucking cult, Joseph. What do you expect? For them to be situated in the public? Living publicly out on the streets? With cult groups, they always perform their rituals, or sick crimes in forests, or abandoned buildings, because it's easier to not get caught. Use your common sense, dude.
Who are the freaks in that sports car behind Ashwin's van?
These sick bastards have a baby and hostage? Wow.
I say we take the little fella with us. I don't think he or her will be safe in this place, surrounded with cultists who most definitely have harmful intentions.
Excuse me. What are you doing with the baby?
Oh, well, you see? We need it for testing. You know, Ashwin needs this little fella to be perfectly healthy and capable, right? So when he grows up, he can be a useful member of our team.
Yeah. What he said.
Oh yeah. I've never seen you two here before. Are you new to the cult? What are your names?
My name is Leon. And my pal here is Joe.
Oh yeah. So, what's the code name for the Sons of Anderson? Oh, and before you answer that question, I will take a look at the records. Andrew, make sure they don't do anything suspicious. I don't trust them.
Run.
Hey, where are you idiots going?
Oh my god. What is happening here? These psychopaths preserve organs, and just have them sitting on a plate? And severed heads? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
I don't know, dude, but it's making me feel sick. Let's just grab the crosses and leave. Change of plans since there weren't any guards.
Hey, I knew something was off when you idiots were following me in your sports car.
Oh. Shit.
I wonder who is underneath these masks. Hey, it's Leo Senton and Joseph Cool. They're part of the Informants. Boy, will their heads be a prized possession.